Namaste, welcome back, my angels. We're tapping into a combined reading for love and your general energetic messages for this weekend for Sagittarius, our first full weekend of September. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, hit the comments, share, like, and subscribe. Thank you to those of you who've been viewing the content thus far that I've presented to you for the month of September. I'll be wrapping up these first initial readings by tomorrow. We're going to do an ancestors read as well as 2 additional love readings. And I might do a quick shout out to some of you who've been kind enough to comment. I'll do a quick subscriber poll. Okay, cards and bless are prayed for and shuffled beforehand. Heavenly Father, bless my space. Put a protection of white light around me and around those who come to these readings in love and light. Remember, these are general readings, especially when it pertains to love and just anything in general, because it taps into your energy and also within the energies of other people who are involved in your life. This is just a guide that if things were to stay the path, it could continue in which the direction that we're guided in these cards today. But your free will and that of others can always alter anything. Remember, you have your own intuitive gifts and your own intuitive feelings within that can change how you want to approach a particular situation or what direction you wish to go in. So with that said, I usually do, when I do my weekend readings, I usually do a separate one for love and a separate one for the general energies. But because it's late in the evening, I'm going to just do one combined for this weekend. And hopefully, as the views and, we get more consistency in the channel again and we get a rhythm going again, I'll be more than glad to do the 2 separate readings on the weekend like I usually do. So let's just go to the tarot. Angels, guides. What is the message this weekend? Is there anything in particular you want Sagittarius to know? Let's see. First 5 cards will tell us. We keep getting the 9 of Swords here. So we have the 9 of Swords. We have the Page of Wands. We have the 6 of Cups. And we also have the 8 of Pentacles. I do feel that as we continue with the September messages, especially with the messages that I've given you thus far, many of you are making plans, and you're making plans to make firm decisions in your life as you move forward. And you will be getting help from friends, help from family. Messages will be coming your way towards you. And with the page energy, when it comes to wands, this is something where the messages or where you're guided to in the direction is like at the early stage. You still have to build from there. So you can't just, jump off and just start things, in a rush. Everything has to be done gradually. And as you get information and as you exchange energy and as you network, you take what you think might apply and put the rest aside, just the same way how you apply your energy when you look at the readings. The reason why many of you are hesitant to make decisions or to take advice from others at this time is because you are still in a state of recovery or a state of healing from something that you have went through in the past couple of months or weeks. It could be pertaining to love. It could be just a general struggle in life. We are living in very, very, very challenging times. So it could be the overall energy and the complexity of both taking its toll on you. And as fate would have it, just when you're getting ready to come out of this and get yourself back together and you kind of have a momentum and you have a focus as to what you want to do and how you're going to rebound and recover, here comes someone trying to bring friendship towards you, or as part of your recovering and healing, they feel it's the time for them to come into your life and offer or extend an olive branch to say they're sorry, to capture your forgiveness. This could be a person that feels hurt inside themselves. This could be a person that you have dealt with that is going through their own karmic lessons, or they're finally putting it together and realizing the hurt that they might have brought upon to your life and others. And for you specifically, Sagittarius, it is important to them that they come forth to you. And even if they can't mend the bridge, because they know how Sagittarius, how we are, we forgive but don't forget, they still want to offer their apologies. They still want to give you your flowers, so to speak. They know you're a very emotional person and you like your freedom and you don't want anyone to crowd your space or kind of bum rush you into forgiving them. That if you choose to forgive them, if you even choose to give them the space to listen to them or to entertain them, it will be when you're ready to do so, if and whenever you are. Because right now, Sagittarius, you're focusing on your coins, you're focusing on working on you, you're focusing again for those of you who have recovered and you're going towards that next pillar in the sky of what it is that you want to do for yourself. For many of you, you know, when you thrust yourself into your career or your hobbies, the things that make you happy, it kind of helps you heal and get over the people that have hurt you in the past, the people who kept you up, you know, late at night with the worries and fear. With the King of Cups energy, this is what you're working towards. You know, from the Seven of Pentacles or Eight of Pentacles, you're working gradually back to your King of Cups stage where you're in charge of your destiny. You know what it is that you want. You're working and utilizing your leadership qualities both in your personal life and especially in your romantic life. You're going to be the one to call the shot, so to speak. You're going to be the one to set the boundaries and let people know what you tolerate and what you don't tolerate. And you're feeling good about yourself. You might have felt belittled or used or misrepresented in the past, and you're building back up your confidence, right? You're building back up your awareness. So I love that for you. Let's see what the messages we get from the tarot. Yeah, we have the card of the happy family with the Ten of Cups. Many of you are very happy where you are in your life, not only with your friends, but especially with your family, either who you consider to be your family, right? Because family could be, yes, your blood family, but it could be your extended family, your friends, those who are in your inner circle that sometimes we love even more than family. You know, there's some of those that are no longer in that family circle and they're out in the cold, and rightfully so, because as you grow, you shed those who no longer align with what you're doing, or those of who you know were working against you and not working towards you or helping you. You know, you're still some people you need to be aware of, and I know you're guarding, you're protecting yourself, and you're very good now on focusing on putting strong boundaries, but there's still some people that you have to be aware of, because again, not everyone around you is necessarily true blue, okay? Those are the people that are after your financial wealth. Either they're jealous of your financial wealth, or they're lost trying to comprehend, how does Sagittarius seem to heal? How does Sagittarius, in the middle of chaos and just when you want to count them out, seems to just come out of a rainbow somehow and manages to rise back up to top? So people who wish for you to have failure, people who want you to be on the bottom as they rise to the top, people who want to take your place in a relationship, in a career, or within your family setting, they are very, very jealous and perplexed as to when again they think you're down, you know, and you're not part of it anymore, and you're outcasted. Everything that they worked towards you to hurt you has worked, and it just simply dissipates and you rise back up to the top. No one understands the gift, the intuitiveness, the power, the staying power, and the glow and the strive that a Sagittarius has. You would have to be a Sagittarius to truly understand it, or have dealt with a Sagittarius where you witness this inability, you know, to be from Hermit stage to King of Cups, you know, to be from the Hangman to the Queen of Wands, how we are able to transform ourselves. Even when we give up on ourselves, we still find that inner peace, that inner glow to remind us of the kings and queens that we are. At the bottom of the deck, we end the tarot with the Page of Swords, with that beautiful rainbow. There's always going to be a fight and battle in life, the ups and downs, but we will always conquer. We will always find a way to wave through the situation, to swim through the channel, right? To look beyond the circumstance that we're in. And a lot of that comes from our gift to understand and to use the lessons from the past to help us in the present moments. The messages that we get from the pages and the other people in our life that helps to guide us. The other messages we get for this weekend is to make room. This is a great time in your life, especially over the weekend. We know the leaves are going to start to fall. The weather's getting a little cooler. Try to create some space to welcome positive changes in your life, especially when you've been going through a lot lately. Make room for that positive space. Let the sun shine in, right? Let that rainbow come about in your life. Let people bring positive messages and positive energy to you that are there to do so. Let go of everything that doesn't align with the future you are creating. And I just said that intuitively before. So the universe is saying this weekend, things are going to change for you. People are going to leave your life, whether you like it or not, because they need to, because they no longer align with your principles. They no longer align with where your destiny is going. Continue in this to pursue your happiness. Never apologize, Sagittarius, for what brings you joy, because only you truly understand what makes you happy. And again, when people are jealous of you or they're trying to bring you down, they try to deter you from pursuing your happiness. So you find your happiness in your space, whatever it is that you create to be your space. Follow your bliss. Continue to let go. And if you aren't continuing to let go, learn to let go. Let go of the negativity, not only in energy, but also in negative people and toxic beliefs. This is your time on earth, and it's very limited, Sagittarius. And it's a precious time to live, to learn, to obtain, to grow, to manifest. So invest your time wisely and be mindful of who you share and give your energy to, who you pursue your happiness with, who you make room in your life with. A reminder this weekend, Sagittarius, that you are complete. Sometimes, like I said, we have a little low vibrational energy to us, and we may feel broken, but we're not. Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with me. Don't spend your time trying to fix problems that don't exist, and don't create problems in your life that you don't need or deserve. Dwell in the beauty of your being in the present, being in the now. You are enough, and you will always be enough, now and always. As a reminder, these are messages and readings for entertainment purposes only. The bottom of the deck, we get life is a gift. Sagittarius, your life is unfolding for you each day. It's all about seizing the moment this weekend, and as we go forth in life, be true to yourself. Live your life to the fullest. If there's no message that is coming more truer to this reading for us for the weekend, is the reminder of how fleeting life is, how fleeting the time in life is, For many of us in our senior years, in this, second to last phase or stage of life, and you see people in your same age category passing, or you see movie stars or singers or entertainers that you grew up with passing, it's just a reminder of, where you are in life, where the age, and the energy of life, that 1 minute you're a child, you're a teen, then you're an adult, and then we're on to that next journey. So we have to spend this time wisely. We have to love each other with passion. We have to learn to make room for those that matter and the things that we need to do, and stop wasting our time not pursuing our happiness and holding on to things and people and energies that we should be letting go. Never thinking that we're not complete, when most of us, we are complete. We're complete because God has given us life, and this life is a gift. So please, please remember that in your daily walk and along your journey of life. As we come to a close, we also get the message of the lily. Practice spiritual love. Practice the things that make you happy spiritually. If going to mass or going to church, or even if you can't physically go to the building itself, you can watch now through YouTube or through your streaming channel, all type of religious programs, So tap into your spirituality, pick up your Bible, pick up your cards, right? Say your affirmations, have your direct conversation to God and the angels and your ancestors, realigning yourself with them, keeping that line of communication open. We get the energy of the vase. We saw flowers before, remember? Someone coming in to bring you flowers, wanting forgiveness. And here we get the energy of the vase, the secret admirer. So not only is someone coming into your life this weekend or nearing you in the far or near future, there could be a new admirer in your life, Sagittarius. With the angel energy, a reminder to always seek and that you have spiritual guidance, that you are protected from harm. Continue, like I said, to pray to God, to pray to the angels, pray for divine intervention and protection. Light your candles, go to your prayer altars, have your sacred space where you let go and let God take over. The final card we get is the axe. Forces are working against you. Now, I did say, right, in transformation, in change, during times of turmoil, or even during times of joy, there are still going to be people who don't want to see you happy. There are still going to be forces trying to work against you. There are people who want to cut you out of a particular storyline or move you away from a particular position so that they can get into it, or separate you from a certain partner. So you always have to watch your back, Sagittarius. Enjoy your life, but be wise. Always look over your shoulder, and again, tap into your divinity to help you in your relationships and as you go through life, and especially dealing with people who are not as yoked as you are. With the card of success, you will be very successful in things that you pursue. Some of you are being a little, I don't want to say cheap, but yeah, you're being cheap. And for many of you, being cheap or being tight with your money is something that you need to do in order for you to be successful, because you feel if you spend a lot of money or if you're too giving, it takes away from you being successful and being able to be able to finance the things that you want. Here we go again with letting go. So whatever it is, there's something, Sagittarius, that you're holding on to. Let's get a clarifier with the letting go. Something that you still won't let go. It could be the thought of a relationship, past or present. It could be, not letting go or coming to terms with the loss of someone that's passed on. Coming to terms with the loss of a job, especially when you've been with a company for a long time, you feel slighted in a way, right? So there's something that's really heavy in your heart that you still have to come to terms with and make peace and let go. Yeah, you need to let go so you can have harmony in your life. This thing that you're holding on to, and for each of you, it's going to be a different thing. You know what that thing is. Please pray upon it. Please let it go so you can have the harmony that you need in your life. You are still going to be complete even without this thing or this person or this particular energy in your life anymore. So don't let it hold you back. Let's go to, I want to see if I have a love deck nearby. Let me just grab one here. Any, meeny, miny, mo. Let's see what we get. Oh no, that's not a love deck. Oh yes. I rearranged some of my cards. Okay, here we go. And let's just pull some love cards for the weekend. If you like this format better, where they're both combined for the weekend, also let me know in the comments. So as we end this weekend reading, abundance. Keep a positive mindset. Most of you have what it is that you want, that you love when it comes as far as relationships. And even for my Sagittariuses that are single, you are still abundant in the love that you have for self. With the energy of karmic relationship, some of you might find yourself in a karmic relationship and you could be going through certain things that are uncomfortable. But again, talking about letting go and loving you, this relationship is there to teach you a lesson. And maybe the lesson is that you need to give yourself a break from relationships. You need to love you, Sagittarius, for a while, just as much as you put as much energy loving others. With lightning, sudden change, shock, news, upheaval, transformation. So yes, there's going to be some changes. There's going to be some ecstatic change coming into your life. Some of it exciting, some of it a little uncomfortable, but it needs to happen in order for you to be placed in the direction that the universe and God divinely sees that is best for you. And then we end with the card at the bottom of the deck, the engagement ring. Some of you are talking engagement or thinking about engagement. The person that you might be with, you feel intuitively this could be the person that you see yourself being with forever. Okay, so some of you could be looking at engagement rings this weekend, or you might have done so already. Okay, and we also have heartbroken. Some of you, the heartbreak that you suffered, you could have suffered from a broken engagement. This could be one of the things that you're not letting go, that you're still reminiscing onto, you're holding on to, especially if this was an engagement where the engagement was broken and it wasn't because of you or you felt slighted. Your partner broke the engagement and now they could be potentially engaged to someone else or actually married to someone else already. And this is a deep hurt. It's a betrayal that you just can't seem to get past. Let's give it another quick clarifier on this heartbreak of betrayal, possibly of a broken engagement. Ooh, 2 cards want to come out. There definitely was arguing and fighting over this situation. You felt like people were turned against you. You were blindsided. And you were alone. And it took a lot from you, but you are building yourself back up. But you are still struggling with letting go of the pain of what transpired. Yeah. You get these 2 cards in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups. So, you know, on the upright, the 5 of Cups, the person doesn't want to see what's behind them. But I think you're ready to move on, but you're still holding on slightly. The Knight of Pentacles is someone that comes in, you know, kind of slow. This person, when they did this to you, it wasn't slow. It was abrupt and it was fast. The engagement was on. There could have been a hall already paid for, invitation sent out, like that type of thing. You know what I mean? And you lost an investment. I believe that's why we have so much pentacle energy here, because there was money lost. So, I mean, that's a tough situation, Sagittarius. And if any of you had to go through that, my heart goes out to you. Let's just gather. Okay, let's see. This is not in the reversed. Okay, yeah. Your hands was tied in this situation. You felt like you had no control. Again, you felt blindsided. And there was really, at that point, what could you do, right? You tried to be patient with this situation. You tried to have understanding as to why this happened. And you've been trying to build a strong foundation around you because you felt like, you know, the rug was pulled from underneath you. So that is what you're working on right now. And many of you are ready now to take up and move away from this situation. And you realize that this is a part of your life that is no longer valid to you, no longer real. It's not your reality. And that it's just something that you experience, as terrible as it was. You will get over it, Sagittarius. Okay, you will begin again. You will flourish. Love will find you. But to have a you know, a blindsided engagement broken, or an engagement that blindsides you by being broken and unexpected like that, without any real true explanation, and then you find out weeks or months or years later that they're engaged to someone else, that can be very hurtful. Again, this is not everyone's story. It could be just one person's story, but it is someone's story. And we all pray for you, and we hope that you know how beautiful you are, and that there is love there for you. Just take this as growing pains, and a lesson, a valuable lesson on nothing is promised, not even the love that people promise to us. The only love that is promised to us that we can actually count on is the love of God and the love of self. So thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye.